The Legend of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Part 1, Chapter 6, Donatello. Donatello responded to reassure her they were not frogs. No, even I dislike frogs. Raph loves them, though. He uses them to play tricks on me, like one time he put one in my bed and I swear I screamed so loudly I could have broken a couple of windows on the surface. Of course, most of what Raph does is far more violent. His words had been gradually coming out faster and faster as he spoke, and were now coming out somewhere near the speed of light. April found them hard to follow coherently. At least my other brothers are not like that. Leo wouldn't hurt a fly unless he felt threatened. Something about karmatic repercussions, and Mikey wouldn't be able to because... Going a little off topic there, April interrupted. Donatello gave a look to April that suggested he was majorly embarrassed, before allowing his eyes to rest on the dirty sewer floor. Sorry, I have trouble socializing. It happens all the time with me and my family. My brothers tease me for it, but my dad understands it's just part of who I am. Actually, if possible, could you point out any social mistakes I make? I'm trying to improve myself. I think that... April gave him a sarcastic look that said, Really? He read this and fell silent, resuming his embarrassed expression. April started again. What was it you were saying about your family? Well, my brothers are all turtles, but my dad is a rat, stated Donatello. Oh, April said, trying to make it sound like this didn't surprise her. There were a few moments of awkward silence before April panicked and bantered, Is your mum a beaver, then? With a mix of doubt and genuine suspicion. I do not have a mom, nor will I ever, Donatello said as if it were nothing. Although technically I'm not related to my brothers or dad anyway, so if you mean genetically, I guess at some point I must have had real parents who hatched me from an egg. I don't know who they are, though. I suppose I could always... April was so desperate to change the topic that she interrupted Donatello frantically with, My mom is human! Donatello looked at her as if she'd just claimed that 1 and 1 made 24. The remaining time of their journey was taken up by April explaining that her fear of frogs came from her uncle's death at the hands of a poisoned dart frog on his final holiday to South America. Donatello was not sure how to deal with this, so changed the topic drastically to board games. They discussed the positives and negatives of battleships, Monopoly, Clue, and chess. Then April found out that the name of the boy that she had met that morning was Raphael. April noticed that Donatello had a jolly but rather awkward manner about him. He was very happy to talk but kept picking at or moving his hands as if unable to find a comfortable position for them. He also never met eye contact with her for more than a second at a time. They arrived at a great metal circular door, rather like a large security safe from a bank, crossed with a massive airlock hatch from a submarine. Donatello put his hand on a screen that was adjacent to the door. The screen briefly glowed lime green, and the door opened. The moment the two kids stepped into the lair, something big and hard hit April, knocking her out cold. Donatello too was savagely hurtled in the opposite direction, shell first. But despite hitting his head on the brick wall, was not knocked out. Leonardo was standing in the middle of the large decagon-shaped family room, observing his master tossing the traitors across the room. This, as you can imagine, created a commotion, and as a result, Raphael had come out of his bedroom and was rubbing the sleep from his eyes. Why'd you wake me, guys? What did Mikey do now? He yawned. When his vision cleared, he found himself staring at the girl he had met the previous day, lying unconscious on the floor. Raphael had the gut-wrenching feeling that this particular problem was all on him. Michelangelo had also come out of his room and was, for some reason, incredibly happy and seemed oblivious to the life-changing events occurring right underneath his nostrils. Michelangelo seemed to be the youngest and shortest of the turtles. He looked to be about 9 years old, but was actually 11, and only slightly toned with muscle. He had bright emerald green skin and a subtly cleft chin. His eyes were big, blue, and they had a pleading look about them that was like a small puppy looking for a new owner. Hey bro, listen, I had the most mondo bizarro dream. I dreamt I went around on a flying monkey and I had to save Spider-Man and Aquaman from being eaten alive by a giant snake inside a volcano. I was all like, cowabunga! And then we went for ice cream at this place that was run by rainbow-coloured unicorns, except they all meowed like kittens. Then he turned and saw his brother, having just been flung across the room, crudely massaging his head. Then he saw the girl lying on the floor. Standing next to her was his dad, looking both enraged and concerned. Dad? Michelangelo alerted. Why is there a human down here? His face suddenly lit up. Confusion and worry turning to bliss and freedom. Are we friends with the humans now? No! Bellowed Splinter, making Mikey shrink in terror. He then turned his face towards Donatello. A look of thunder donned it. What possessed you not only to go down to the surface, but also to bring a human back to our lair? Do you not realise she could tell others what she sees down here? Have I been wasting my breath with the 4,000 times I've told you not to go to the surface? Shall I just get you a pencil right now so you can write a floral invitation to the shredder? He finished loudly. You've got it all wrong, Dad. It wasn't me who went to the surface, began Donatello, still rubbing his head and wincing. Raphael was making cutthroat gestures and waving hysterically while jumping up and down to get his brother to stop him, informing of his adventure. Mikey gave an involuntary guffaw at the faces his brother drastically pulled. Donatello, completely oblivious to all this, carried on. April told me it was Raphael who went to the surface yesterday when he missed training. He then took April down to the sewers, returned her to the surface, and she returned to the sewers to find us again, where me and Leonardo ran into her, and I saved her life and we talked, and I invited her back here to prove that not all humans are bad. All is well, really, I think. After a moment of silence, the rat decided on a course of action. Leonardo, I want you to rest April on the couch and tend to any potential injuries I may have given her, he demanded in an army general type bark.